Hi everyone, welcome back to ladensercrotchets. If you're new to the channel, you're welcome. Kindly subscribe and join the family. In this tutorial, we're going to create this shrug. It's a granny stitch crochet shrug, and the stitch is very simple, even for beginners. And I particularly love it because I discovered that instead of using the 3 double crochet clusters, I can use 2, which saves on time and the amount of yarn that is used. So let's get into it. You need the following materials: a 4mm crochet hook. You can work these with whatever size of hook. I would advise 4 or a bigger size than this. Then a medium weight yarn. I'm using Winter King. It's 100% acrylic and it's a Kenyan brand. You'll need a measuring tape, a pair of scissors, a darning needle, and at least 2 stitch markers. We're going to make these 2 identical pieces, join them, and then work the sleeves. So this should be quite easy. It won't take much of your time. So let me show you how to work a panel. So we have one panel and the other one. They are completely identical. So grab your yarn and begin with a slip knot. Just pull in my yarn. Then I'll start with a slip knot and chain 45. 45 is the shoulder to shoulder measurement. So you need to take your shoulder to shoulder measurements, then chain, make a chain that will be enough to cover that measurement. Mine, while not stretching, is at 12. When I give it a little bit of a stretch, it goes up to 15. So you'll need to stretch this out because you don't want something that is oversized. When you're taking these measurements, make sure that you stretch out your work. Not too much, just a little bit. And make sure that your chain is an odd number. That is a number that is not divisible by 2. Now, once you have your chain ready, you're going to block off the last chain and chain 2 more. The chain 2 will act as our first double crochet. Then you're going to yarn over and insert your hook into that chain that you're holding. Yarn over, grab a loop so that you get 3 loops on your hook. Yarn over, pull through 2. Yarn over, pull through the remaining 2 to complete a double crochet. And those are 2 double crochets in the first chain. Yarn over, skip the next chain, work into the one that follows, place 2 double crochets into that chain. Yarn over, skip the next one, work into the one that follows, 2 double crochets. Yarn over, skip, then work into the next. So basically we are working 2 double crochets in one stitch. The stitch that follows we skip, then 2 double crochets into the one that follows. So skip this, work into the next one, 2 double crochets, and repeat this to the end of row 1. You should have 2 double crochets in the last chain. So skip this and work into the last one, 2 double crochets, and you're done with row 1. To begin row 2, chain 2, and that's our first double crochet. Then we're going to work into the gaps that are between the 2 double crochets that we've worked. So into this gap, we're going to place 2 double crochets. into the next gap, 2 double crochets, 2 double crochets into the next one, 2 double crochets into the next gap, and repeat to the end. I'll meet you at the end and show you how to complete row 2 once you've worked the double crochets into the gaps, 2 of them, 2 double crochets each. This is the last gap, and I'm going to place the 2 double crochets there. Then to complete the second row, we're going to yarn over and place a double crochet on top of the chain 2 stitch right there. And there we're done with row 2. Chain 2, turn to begin row 3. Now the first gap is right here after the double crochet that we've done at the end, so we're going to place just 1 double crochet into that one. So that double crochet plus the chain 2 will make the 2 double crochets. Then now we're going to work the gaps with 2 double crochets each. I'm coming to the end of row 3. Now this is not the last gap. The last gap is right here after these 2 double crochets. So this one right here, we're just going to place 1 double crochet there. Then the next double crochet will be on top of the chain 2 to make those 2 double crochets. Then chain 2 and turn to begin row 4. We work row 4 the same way we worked row 2. So we skip to the gap and work 2 double crochets and 2 double crochets into all the gaps. Then once we get to the end, at this point we're going to place 2 double crochets in the last gap. Then the last double crochet will be on top of the chain 2. So row 4 will be the same as row 2. Row 5 will be the same as row 3. Row 6 is the same as row 2. Row 7 is the same as row 3. So basically all the even rows, we work them the same. All the odd rows, we also work them the same. So we're going to alternate between row 2 and row 3 until we get the length, until you get the length of your armhole. I'm going to work a total of 16 rows, which will give me 8 inches. The length of an adult armhole is between 7 to 9 inches. So if you're a size small, work until you get 7 inches. If you're between medium to large, 8 inches will be okay. If you're an extra large and above, then 9 inches will work for you. So keep repeating row 2 and row 3, and I'll meet you once I have the 8 inches, which is a total of 16 rows for me. I'm in row 4 right now. So I'll do 12 more rows, then get back and show you what to do next. This is what you're going to have after the 16 rows, or what I have after the 16 rows. And when I measure these, it gets me to the 8 inches, which is what I was going for. I've already worked the second one right here. So this was the first one that I did. At the end, I chained 1 and cut off the yarn at this point. Then for the second one, do not cut off the yarn. We're going to use it to connect. Now you need to take the first panel and hold it such that the wrong side is at the bottom. This is the right side. Then the next one. So the second one, I'm going to hold it in such a way that this is the right side facing the other right side, like this. And then you're going to connect from the top on the shoulders, and you're going to connect for 10 stitches. So what I'll do, I've already chained one right here. I'll just turn my work. Sorry, I need to work from this side. So I've already chained one, and what I'll do is insert my hook in the first stitch on one panel, on this panel where the yarn is still in place. Then get the other piece and go into the first stitch, which is on the chain 2. Then I'll grab a loop and complete a single crochet. The next stitch is this one right here, and the next one on the other side, do a single crochet, work into the third stitches, connecting them, that is 3. Then we have 4, 5, 6. So this is my 10th stitch. Just done the double crochet there, then I'll chain 1 and cut off the yarn at that point. Then pull through and fasten. Then I'll turn my work to the other side so that I can start working from this end. And on the same side, on this side, we also join for 10 stitches. So the first stitch on this side, the first stitch on the other side, get the yarn and reconnect it with a slip stitch, then chain 1. Then we're going to go back into that stitch, we go back into that first stitch with a single crochet, and as I connect, I'll work over the ends, go into the second stitch and do a single crochet, then do a total of 10 single crochets while connecting the 2 panels. After the 10 stitches, chain 1, cut off the yarn at that point, pull through and fasten, and the 2 panels are in place. This is what you should have. Now you're going to turn this to the right side, just like this. And now we're going to work the sleeves. The sleeves is an extension on this end and an extension on the other end. To do that, we're going to start with a slip knot. Then get one of the 2 ends at the bottom, insert your hook on the first stitch on this side and on the first stitch on the other end, then do a slip stitch there to connect them. Then hold your work like this. We're going to start working the sleeves from here. So start by chaining 2. After chaining 2, we're going to work on this, on the rows. So place a double crochet on that first row. Then we're going to skip over to the next row, which is this one right here, and place 2 double crochets. Then we'll skip over to the next row and work 1 double crochet. Then on the next row 1 double crochet. Then on the row that follows 2 double crochet. On the next row 1 double crochet. Then 1 double crochet into the next. The next row will get 2 double crochets. So we are alternating like that. 2 double crochets, then 1 1 2 1 1 till we get back to where we've changed to. So next we're going to have 1 double crochet and another double crochet next. Then 2 double crochets. Next 1 double crochet and 1 double crochet next. Then 2 double crochets. So repeat this all the way around the sleeve. I'll meet you at the end where we started with the chain 2. I'm coming to the end. These are 2 double crochets, 1 into each of the gaps, and I have the last gap right here. 2 double crochets. To complete that row, which is our row 1, we slip stitch onto the chain 2 stitch that we began with, then chain 2 and turn to begin row 2. We begin on this gap after the chain 2, and we're going to place just 1 double crochet. That is together with the chain 2, that will make 2 double crochets. Then yarn over, skip these 2 double crochets and work in the gap after the 2 double crochets. Yarn over. So now right here, instead of working after the 1 double crochet, we'll work after the 2. So 1 2 and into the gap after the 2 double crochets. So we are working all the gap after every 2 double crochets. Next, right here, 2 double crochets. The next 2 double crochets will be right here, and this is what we're going to repeat to the end of row 2. So this is the last gap, and we place 2 double crochets there. Then do a slip stitch onto the first chain 2 to complete row 2, chain 2 and turn to begin row 3. Begin row 3 in this gap, place 1 double crochet there. Then start working all the gaps with 2 double crochets. Continue like this to the end. This is the last gap, and next we slip stitch to complete row 3 onto the chain 2 stitch. Chain 2, turn your work, work a double crochet into the first gap, Then work 2 double crochets into all the gaps. At the end of the row, you're going to do a slip stitch and continue repeating row 3 until you get the full length of your sleeve. I'm done working the sleeve, and I started from this point, and I've done a total of 51 rows. Then I've gotten to my full length, to the full length of my sleeve, and I'll just measure this to show you the length that I worked. Starting from the point of connection, I started from this point on the armpit, and I worked all the way for a length of around 24.5. So that's the full length of my sleeve, and I'm going to work one final row at the end. So before you work this final row, make sure that the last row that you work, you've worked it on the inside part of the sleeve, so that when you chain and turn, you're working on the outside part of the sleeve. And for this row, we're going to work 1 single crochet into all the stitches. We're going to begin from this stitch right here, place a single crochet, place a single crochet into the next stitch, into the next. Then we're going to place 1 single crochet into all the stitches all the way around the sleeve. Once you're done with the last stitch, just slip stitch onto the first single crochet that you did. Slip stitch, chain 1, and then cut off the yarn, and you're done with that sleeve. So cut it off, pull through and fasten, then get your darning needle and weave in that end that you've just cut at that point. The sleeve is done. You're just going to reattach the yarn on the other side and work the other sleeve the same way we've worked this one. So I'll do that, work my other sleeve, then I'll be back. After working the other sleeve, this is what we have. And the shrug is almost done. This is the bottom part, this is the top part. We're just going to do a single crochet edging on both sides, both ends, that is on the neck and on the bottom of the shrug. So let's begin with the bottom part, and we're going to begin from this corner. So grab the yarn and the hook. Then we're going to attach at the corner. And attach at this point. Put my hook and grab the yarn. then chain 1, chain 1. So notice that I've attached the yarn in between the stitches. So I'll go into that stitch and place a single crochet. Then I'll go into this gap right here and place a single crochet. Then in between the 2 double crochets, next we'll work into this gap, place a single crochet. Then we go in between these 2 double crochets and place a single crochet. Then next we work in the gap, this one, single crochet. Then right here in between the 2 double crochets into the gap right here. Then this is what we're going to repeat till we come back to where we've reattached the yarn. So let me do that. I'm in the last stitch, and to complete the row I'll just slip stitch into the first single crochet that I did, then chain 1 and cut off the yarn, pull through, fasten, and then weave in that end. Once you're done, cut off whatever end that remains. And that's how the bottom part of the shrug should look like. We're also going to do a single crochet edging on the top part, beginning with the corner, of course. So grab your yarn and the hook, determine the corner part. We want to work over the ends that have remained. So at this point, or at this point, just put your yarn through and pull up a loop. Chain 1, and we're going to work in between the stitches just like we've done with the previous edging. Start with that point where you've reconnected the yarn, place a single crochet, then go right here and work a single crochet. In between the double crochet stitches, double crochet in this gap, not double crochet but single crochet, sorry. Then single crochet right here into the next gap, in between the stitches, into the gap, stitches, and repeat all the way around the neckline. At the end, I just did the slip stitch and then chained 1 and cut off the yarn. So I'm just weaving in the last end. And right there, we are done with the edging on the neckline, and our shrug is done. So you're done. You can go on, try on these. I'll be working another shrug with bell sleeves. So if you'd like to watch the tutorial to the bell sleeve shrug, I'll be leaving the link in the description box once the tutorial is ready. Thank you so much for sticking around to the end of the tutorial. If you've enjoyed it, kindly leave a like, a comment, a share, subscribe if you're not subscribed, and hit the notification bell so that you get notified every time I upload a tutorial. If you really enjoyed the tutorial and you want to support me continue making the content, kindly click on the thanks button and leave a gift of any amount. I'll appreciate it a lot. See you in the next tutorial.